Hey Christine, I went and had a half-price books run today. Was out with a friend, and I just thought I'd show a couple of things that I had picked up there. I apologize for the ceiling light, but it's dark outside. Um, the first thing I picked up, and this was $10, which was really, really nice. Um, the Egyptian Scarab Oracle is kind of like runes, but they added uh, Egyptian symbols to runes instead of the Futhark. So if you're more into the Egyptian mindset and not so much the Celtic and Gaelic and all of that, then this might be a good alternative rune set for you. It's just a simple box, really. Found it over with the tarot cards. And they have instructions on making your own scarabs out of like polymer clay and stuff. I'm sure that these could easily be done with castings in resin, and then, you know, use the resin molds to do polymer clay. Probably be easier than them saying to individually roll and pinch and all of this. But they're gold on the back. And the only thing I really am not a fan of, I think divination is a little bit harder and a little less honest if you have a rune that you can actually feel the symbol on the back. A rune should be a blind draw out of a bag, and that's where some of the handmade runes that people sell, you know, they've got things sculpted in them and stuff. I prefer where something's painted on the back and the whole thing's glazed over so that you don't get a textural difference and know what you're drawing out of the bag. That's my only concern. These are really, really imprinted. You could take a crayon and do a rubbing off of these and get an exact image. Which, actually, in some ways, this wouldn't be bad for, like, doing things on a spell book or a book of shadows or something. But, like I said, that's my only concern when it comes to divination practices with these runes. I don't mind the sculpted front, but, you know, it just bugs me that you can have a textural difference on the back. Otherwise, this is how they come packaged up. The size is about the same as the box set of the Futhark, if you can find it, the gray one with the gray book and the gray runes and runestones in it, which I have, and it's really nice. I like it. It also came with a book, and the book explains the runes and then gets a little bit into, like on the back when it says about making your own. It has a reference for symbols in it, and what some standard inscriptions are from real scarabs. And then it gets a little bit into trying to read or pronounce the Egyptian hieroglyphic alphabet. It's exceedingly basic because I have two books on doing reading hieroglyphs, and the one book is double the thickness of this, and is you know, goes into detail with exactly how to read it, and, you know, not just a library on what the runes mean, but how to actually read and write Egyptian hieroglyphs and to do it properly. So it's extremely basic, but, you know, I thought it gets into the lore of the scarab a little bit and stuff like that, and it wasn't just something from Egypt. For $10, I thought this was kind of cool. So it will definitely be added to my divination sets, but I'm, like I said, I'm not so sure I'm comfortable with the fact that it is so three-dimensional that you can tell what you're drawing out of the bag. The next one I picked up, this one, of course, was a little bit more expensive, but considering that I'm an artist, too, I thought this was extremely interesting. As you can see, signs and symbols of magic and mastery, hidden secrets, flowers of the underworld. gets into sacred geometry, nature of the divine, numbers, sacred sounds, secret sounds, the body. Really, really interesting. It gets into the anatomy of how symbols are devised. And then it just gets to talking about symbols in general. And I mean, there is pretty much everything in here. Oh, look, Baphomet. Oh, how interesting. You know, and the beckoning cat. And I mean, this book is really thick. It's super heavy. There's knotwork designs in here. I mean, I really didn't even get too much of a chance to even look through this whole thing, but this is an awesome reference, guys. And it is not sparing of whatever, like here's the Cross Lorraine. It's not sparing of any particular religion or anything like that. It just goes into symbols all over the world, and I think that's pretty awesome. Whoops. Sorry about that. Doing my game at the same time and losing horribly. So yeah, both of these were pretty worthwhile purchases, I have to admit. Definitely fascinating purchases. I have to work with, I might try and work with the Egyptian scarabs before I, make a full judgment on those. But this book here, Signs and Symbols Source Book, definitely worth spending the $20 on. This is a fantastic reference, and I recommend that anybody who is an artist or is into the craft get this. This is really, really wonderful. And they got information about the Hebrew alphabet in here. Just all sorts of things in here. I was trying to look. Well, now you see, one source I saw, and I thought this was kind of funny. The whole monster can stupidity thing that's out there, how it's the number 666. Now, I've seen one source that said that this Hebrew letter here, Phau, was the number 4. Here it says it's the numerical value of 6. But there's also, how do you tell if it isn't Nun, which is number 14 on the last one? But the first two on the monster can, if you look, are actually connected together. So they're not separate slashes like these people try to make them out like. So what you have the possibility of here is that it's the number 8. So you would have 86, possibly 84, or if you added the 8 and the 14 together, I mean, there's different ways of doing this, or it could be the cross, it could be Tau, it could be number 22. So, I saw the actual numerical translation was it was 84, and yet there are some of these fundamental people out there, very fundamentalist Christians, are saying that it is the number 666. Well, in part because it's supposed to look like claws coming down, and if you look at a claw, when an animal scratches, it isn't always a straight line, so I think it was a stylized claw mark. But I just find it funny that they try to say that that's what it is, and it actually isn't, because 2 of the slashes are connected with each other. So, really silly stuff. It's from the group of people who want to label everything as evil and not have any enjoyment in the world. So, there you go. Like I said, this looks pretty comprehensive. I've been eyeballing this book for a very, very long time, and I just thought this was really, really awesome. So, yeah, and gets into the peace signs and all of that stuff. Let's see. Huh. Oh, all these people trying to say that the peace sign is actually a broken cross and therefore a symbol of the New World Order and all of this. Um, it turns out that the guy who designed this originally did a Christian cross in here, and of course, some Christians got really upset about it. And others thought that it would alienate some other parties who tried to use it. So the guy who designed this, thought about the shape of a person in despair with their arms downward and pleading for help. And that's actually how this symbol came about. So it's not a broken cross or anything like that. This is definitely a book to get, because if you're interested in even what some of these people who are firmly believe in the Illuminati and all of this, you take a look at this stuff and actually find out how wrong they are about the meanings of a lot of symbols around the world. It's just entertaining as all get out. So yeah, there you go, guys. Hopefully you found this useful. I think this is extremely wonderful, wonderful book here. So yeah, enjoy, and everybody have a wonderful day. Blessed be.